Okay, so this is the subsequent move following the arm lock that you can do from the back. If they manage to defend the wrist lock, shoulder lock attack, there's a way to move them into a total smashing, like torsion effect with a figure four. So I'm not really sure how to describe it other than that, but you're basically going from their back to their front while never actually leaving their back. So their lower half is like getting twisted in a very painful way while their upper body is getting compressed like this. Check this out, you grab that elbow and you see his hips get elevated. So all of my pressure of my hips is pushing down and his ribs are getting compressed down here. His hips are totally elevated off the ground and getting rotated this way while his upper body gets rotated in the opposite direction. So the force builds up here on their ribs and their shoulder. They either tap or you get 4 points and then tap them on this arm here. So there's some actual setups to finish this, but this is kind of a rib compression. That's the only way to explain it really. It's a crush submission. You crush your opponent like a boa constrictor. That is the most accurate way to describe this. This is a crushing boa constrictor. This is what it would feel like to get crushed by a boa constrictor without the getting eaten part. Try this move out. I think you guys will really like this one. This is part of this little mini back system that I've been working on the last couple years, and I never talked about it or tried to like put it on our website or anything other than just in passing as part of our courses, but this is a special move. It may look simple, but when you get into the weeds on this one and feel what it feels like, I think you'll find something, it's kind of like a hidden gem. So check this one out, you're gonna love it. And we've been loving the comments, so let us know what you wanna see from us in the comments. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Okay, so when we're attacking this arm, you can have people very persistent and stubborn with not letting you get their arm. They can hold on really tight. They can just be like, I'm just not gonna let you get this arm. I don't care if I just sit here all day. I'm not letting you get the arm. That can happen sometimes, okay? So when we're here and we kind of cut this angle, here we get our figure four, here, and my opponent starts to drive his hips out like this, and we're in this position here. Oh man, this is gonna hurt you. I can already tell. Let's start here. Okay, so what happens here is that I'm attacking the arm. Actually, we gotta rotate so people can see the arm. Let's just make this as comfortable as possible. All right. So when I'm attacking the arm, he's gonna defend it very carefully and not let me extend it, not let me get under the elbow to start getting that extension. But as I'm attacking this wrist lock, he realizes that he's the only one able to defend right now. Like he can't attack at all. I'm the only one being able to attack. He doesn't want to hang out here very long because it's literally just a matter of time before I hurt his wrist or potentially get his arm. So he's very incentivized to try and escape. And at this point, the only escape really is to tuck this elbow down and try and come up into my closed guard, or what feels like closed guard. It's very difficult for him to even get there. I have to allow him to get there. So what I'll do is I'll just grab this far elbow and just pull him on top of me like this and let him come on top. And now what happens here is he can't posture up. He can't get his hips anywhere, right? The lock becomes so much tighter at this point that he's totally stuck, okay? And now I'm no longer concerned about this arm. All I'm gonna do is just reach across and hug this elbow and straighten it out like this. Once I take this elbow out, I can actually just come right on top to mount with the same position. So now he's like super extended. I'm actually letting go a little bit because I don't want to put pressure on his ribs. But when you get this position and you don't loosen it up, you have this like gnarly vice grip pressure on his bottom ribs from the figure four. And a lot of times people will just tap from the squeeze once it gets to that point. So let's go over here, let's do it one more time. So I'm here, have my figure four, he's escaping. I get my hook here like this. And from this position, I'm trying to finish him and maybe it's not working. What I can even do is take the short route. Instead of letting him come all the way on top like this, I can just let his arm pass here and then I can hug the arm from this position like this and just come up on top this way. And you can see how this pressure would start to add up. All I have to do once I underhook this arm and I come up like this, if I just hip into him here, you can just tap when it starts to hurt. Like this pressure is pretty immense. And it's just because there's like rotating effects. I have the figure four. Everything is just compressing very tightly. So be very careful on this one. Just feel the pressure. Tap early if you feel like there's a lot of pressure on your ribs. I just want to show you that if they try and wiggle out or escape, the trap actually gets even tighter. So there's really no way out of this except to try and unhook their leg. If you try and follow the path of least resistance, you end up in this like super vice grip rib crusher. Does that make sense? Any questions? Let's try. try it. On 2, 1, 2. No, it doesn't matter what you do. At this point, it's up to Paige. Like, if Paige wants to put your, like, you can just hook, but keep that elbow control. You want to underhook the elbow, Paige. Yeah, so it's like this when you, so when you get on top here, there's a lot of counter rotation because your leg is pushing his hips one way and your arm is pulling his arm back the other way. And it works even better if you clear his arm, Paige, the left arm. If you push it down to the mat and go over the top of it, now grab his elbow, now come up on top. That's even better. You can just, you don't have to tap him. It's not going to tap everyone, obviously, but certain people, it's like at this point, it gets very painful. The lockdown counter we did. It's like a weird configuration where you're like sliding sticks in the spoke of something. It just is like in there, it locks it in place through just various pressures on different parts of your limbs. It creates like this frame, sort of like a cage around them. So I don't have a name for this position, but maybe someone can come up with one. You'd have to, to tap them realistically, you have to hug their arm, hug their head, thrust your hips down into her ribs with the force of 1,000 suns.
Yes. Okay, I see.
And then you just squeeze hard. But
so, is there a way to just like submit her easily from here? Like, should I just?
I mean, you've already got 4 points, another 4 points. It's just a dominant position.
Yeah, okay.
You can go to mount and submit them from there. But the submission opportunity happens before you do that. Okay? And if it doesn't work out, we got 4 points instead. That's all it is. Yeah. Well, if you want to finish the arm lock, the elbow has to come down and you got to catch it here. That's the arm lock. Okay. But if he's defending well and he tucks his elbow down like this, you would want to clear the arm this way and then reach up to this elbow and reach underneath it, get a nice hug there. And you can start using your right hand to push on the mat to help you get up on top and drive him up and over. And you feel how that pressure, go all the way up, put your knees down on the mat. Yeah, that's very uncomfortable for him. And then from here you can let go. You can just go to mount, or he may tap, depending on how hard you're squeezing. But it's just if they try and escape, you get mount, basically, which is a very good outcome.